Hi, Kyoko. I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far?
Better.
Okay, good to know. Do you think you can do tuition today?
Yeah.
All right. The plan is to do the future topics. That means the integration, differentiation together with Ainesh. Ainesh is currently in India. Yesterday we tried connection from there and it seems fine. Today he's a bit late, so I'm not sure what's happening. Uh, we'll we'll wait by doing this instead. We'll wait by discussing the proving questions. But at 8:45, if he didn't come, then we probably want to switch topics. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Right. So is there anything else that you feel you need to do besides your homework or the future topic?
Uh, at the moment, no.
Right. Is there anything else that you're thinking? Any updates that you want to tell me?
No, don't have.
Okay. Then let's talk about your homework. It's probably already 1 week since the last time. Was your homework still at the same place? That means page 3 of your Jamboard.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
still, I don't understand.
correct? Again, let me emphasize that this is pretty normal for a proving situation. You're learning, you're probably learning a new way of thinking. That's what I think is valuable from but you have been warned. It doesn't
Yeah.
that exams will get easier. As for other topics, I think exams do get easier as you learn more. For proving, maybe as right. Okay, so I'll take it that we'll discuss now. 5A, we were talking about first try, second try, and third try, correct? You're at the Jamboard.
Mm.
And then I was saying that you have to be ready to try different things because different questions may lead you to different answers. Right? So in the second try, for example, if the question requires something like this, then you are close to, right? But it turns out, I think the first try, the try that you did, because you make some mistake and we corrected it, then we end up with this so far, right? This so far. I was claiming that this 1 minus tangent over 1 plus tangent is very close to the answer that the question wants. Are you saying that you still cannot figure it out?
Yeah.
All right. Then let me show you. That means you still need to get used to a lot of algebra manipulation, right? Now, I was telling you that this form is close. Why is it close? You see the similarity between the answer and the situation we are in.
Mm.
So tell me the similarities that you see.
The minus sign on top and the plus sign below.
Correct. And it's a fraction, right? It's a fraction, right? So although we also start with minus and plus, if you will notice that we actually start with that, correct or not? But this is closer because maybe we'll say, I don't know, the square disappears. There is no more, I mean, it seems closer at least. Now, you're saying that you cannot figure this from that, right? So then we'll just do something kind of natural. You do not know what to do. That's what you're saying, right? It's a very common feeling in improving, especially the hard ones. You just have a general sense that you seem to be getting closer or not closer. So in the sense, in the second try that we do, you don't seem that you're getting closer, right? So you stop it, correct or not? But in this situation, you still have a general feeling that you're getting closer. Now, let me check one more time. Is that true or not? Or you're just following what I'm saying?
I I have a feeling, but I'm not sure what to do.
Correct. So you need to get used to that feeling. Okay, maybe I'm correct, that's what you're saying. Maybe I'm on the right direction, but I still don't know what to do. Then you must force yourself to do things which are quite natural. Because you feel that you're in the right direction, so you shouldn't be doing too much of an extreme thing, right? An extreme thing will be to try something else totally different, right? I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to just do something that feels maybe kind of natural. Please do that. Right? So what would that be?
The formula.
No, you mean identities.
Yeah.
I don't think there's identities that include 1 minus tangent, 1 plus tangent, or this fraction. So although identities would be natural, right? But I don't see anything here. Am I correct? So do something else that is also natural. Like what is the natural, that's just a general or natural thing to do for tangent. Tangent. Force yourself to do something. Tangent. Here you go. Tangent. Force yourself to do something.
I don't see it.
Tangent. Kyoko. Tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent is perhaps tangent x is it's not identities, it's not something complicated. Tangent x is
Opposite over adjacent.
I know, but we don't need it here. You know that for some reason proving doesn't require that. That's the basic understanding of tangent. So slightly more than tangent x can be changed very easily into Let me check this out, Kyoko. This because I don't believe that you do not know this. Look at this. What is that?
Wait.
What is that?
The ball is not.
The what? The what?
The
Jamboard is not working, is it?
Yeah.
The Jamboard is not working. I tried this. You don't see anything?
I see.
This. What is that?
Sine over cosine.
Yes, which is originally
Tangent.
you don't even sound that you know tangent is equal to sine over cosine. Wait, this is impossible. You do not know that tangent x is sine x over cosine x.
Is that not identity?
Wait a minute. You do not know that tangent x is equal to sine x over cosine x. It's a simple yes or no. Ines already come in. Yes or no?
No.
This is extremely weird. Yeah. Tangent x is opposite over adjacent. All right. Sine x is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine x is adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, what happens when you sine x over cosine x? Opposite over hypotenuse over adjacent over hypotenuse, correct? Yes or no?
Mm.
Opposite over hypotenuse over adjacent over hypotenuse. What is it?
Opposite over adjacent.
Which happens to be tangent. So if you want an explanation, there you go. But most people will now, by now, realize that tangent x is equal to sine x over cosine x. Let me confirm this one more time. This is the first time you hear this.
Mm.
Then remember it for later use. It will be used quite frequently and it will be even taken for granted that you know this. All right.
Mm.
Okay. Now, Ainesh, can you hear us?
Yeah.
We have to start quickly. We are 15 minutes late. Time is very precious. Please get ready. Your Jamboard is done. We're going into the differentiation and integration. Are you ready?
I'm in the Jamboard.
All right, then. Then I will give to both of you an example of a question. We'll be discussing examples of how to use differentiation and integration in a question, right? So Kyoko, we're changing topic, yeah? The last thing I discussed with you, tangent x is the thing you need to complete that question. No wonder you cannot complete that question. At this point, I'm very confused how the school has prepared you. I'm very confused. Yeah. So please remember what I said. You will be needing that. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Please wait for a while. So I'll be putting something on the gym.
Am I supposed to see something?
Now, yes. Okay. All right. So you will see a question on page 9. Ainesh, laser point something if you can see it. Also Kyoko, just to confirm that the Jamboard is working fine. Can you see something? All right, there will be Kyoko, right? And then Ainesh. Okay, good. Now we're gonna read this question carefully, and then we're gonna see what we can do, right? Okay. Now, here is an equation. You may feel that you are familiar with it, or you may not feel that you're familiar with it, right? There's a quadratic there. The shape may be something that you recognize or not. However, the thing they ask for you, you already have some idea how to do that. Find dy dx. So find the differentiation. The remaining part, you may not understand. You may not understand, right? So this is our reading process. Any other question before we try to do something, please? Okay, I'll be asking questions then. This is a P. The P is currently unknown. Does it matter or not for our differentiation? Kyoko and Ainesh. Kyoko first.
No.
It does not matter according to you. How about Ainesh?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Why does it not matter? Answer somebody.
Cause it becomes 0.
When you differentiate. Why? Because it's a number, even though it is unknown. Right? Kyoko, you have the same thinking?
Yeah.
Right. So if P is 3,000, P is 3,001, P is 1,000,000 minus 10,000, it doesn't matter when you differentiate, right? It matters in another way. Look at part 2. Part 2, they actually ask you to find P. So it matters in something else, not for dy dx. So that's why I say, I feel that you guys may be able to do the dy dx. So that's what I invite you guys to do, right? Kyoko, you're going to do it immediately here. And Ainesh, you're going to try using the tablet, okay? If the tablet doesn't work, then you have to do the slow way. I hate the slow way. You have to do the paper and take a picture, right? That is not ideal in any means, right? So let's try the Jamboard, both of you first, right? I'm gonna split it here. Give it a try. I'll write down a few revision for you. You have the product rule, you have the quotient rule, and you have the chain rule. I will actually tell you again what is product rule, quotient rule, and chain rule if you forget what is that, right? What I want you to remember by yourself is that should I be using a rule or not? That is the thing I want you to think about, okay? So, Kyoko and Ainesh, the question to you is, do you need a rule or not here? I mean, please answer, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Kyoko, why do you think, which rule do you think should be used here?
The last one.
The chain rule, because chain rule is inside and outside. You see some inside and outside?
Mm.
Okay, do you still remember how to use chain rule? If not, I'll tell you again, that one's okay.
I forgot the exact.
Right. Then, since you think it's chain rule, I never say that it is correct or not, but since you think it's chain rule, then first I will ask you, what is the inside according to you?
1 minus 1/4 x.
All right, 1/4. So you pretend that that is you. First thing first, look. People usually do this in their mind, but I'm going to make it explicit. So that's the first step, right? The second step is you differentiate by pretending, look, minus 2u squared. Let me ask you the next question for the second step. Does 1 minus 2u squared look basic for you? Basic means you can differentiate without rule. That's what it means. Does it look basic to you, Yoko?
Yeah.
That means you can differentiate. So differentiate, right? Then there is the step 3, that's differentiate. The step 3 is to times u prime. That's the finishing of chain rule. So please do that. Ainesh, I can see your writing in the Jamboard. It is not as beautiful as your normal writing, but it looks fine, right? Do you have any problem writing in it so far?
No, but
right.
I didn't understand what you just said.
All right, so let me repeat this because we are at a serious application. Do you feel that you need to apply a rule or not? You don't have, okay, good. Which rule do you choose?
The chain rule.
Why?
Because there's an inside and an outside.
Okay, do you remember how to do chain?
No.
I tell you, it does not make sense. Okay, why we need to use chain rule makes sense. You just said the sense. Why we need to use product and quotient also makes sense. But how does it work exactly and why do we have to memorize it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. That's probably why you don't remember it very well. It must be a muscle memory. So I'm helping you with it. The first step is to pretend that the inside is you. Done. Okay? By the way, I'm checking with you. Are you sure the inside is like what Kyoko think?
What did she think?
What do you think? Who is the inside?
The 1 minus 1 by 4x.
Then she also thinks so. So we start the first step of chain rule is we pretend the inside is a big U. Then simple, right? Most people do this in their mind. I'm making it explicit. Okay?
Yeah.
The purpose of pretending is second step to differentiate why 1 minus 2 u squared looks basic. Basic means you don't need rule. You just apply the basic differentiation rule. No advanced rule. Minus 2u squared. Can't you differentiate that, Ainesh?
Yeah.
Then differentiate that. That's second step. Then I'll tell you the third step.
Wait, what? I don't. I did. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so differentiate that. It's minus 2u squared. Kyoko is in the middle of doing that.
I see.
Again, Ainesh, I'll write things formally. Yeah. So this is y plus b. Then do dy dx. Okay. This is still muscle memory, so please do that. Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
Now erase my writing and you're going to redo it. Okay. You need the muscle memory to do this. Right? Okay. Your differentiation is fine though. So just erase what I'm doing and then do what I did. Okay. Right. So Kyoko, you did the chain rule second step well. You see that the pretending of first step makes your second step much easier, right? There's a purpose in doing it, can? Now, what's the third step? Like this, times u prime. Why? Don't know, never explained, but that's the end of chain rule. Then you just resubstitute. Understand? Okay, so I'm gonna erase it. You do it yourself, right? Yeah, good. Ainesh, I was a bit worried when you write +1, right? Now, your chain rule haven't finished. Stop it. Your chain rule haven't finished. There's a third step. The third step looks like that. Why? Don't know. Just memorize. Okay?
What? Oh.
Times
How
u
would I
prime.
differentiate that?
Can't you differentiate u as in 1 minus 1/4 x? That's quite easy to differentiate using, well, nothing than the basics. It's just a basic differentiation, don't you think? Okay?
No.
Right? So erasing that. So please write that yourself and then, well, times the differentiation of u. So please do that, both of you. Ainesh, that's not y, that's u. Stop confusing yourself. This is u, right? So du dx, that's the appropriate way of writing it. Du dx, right? Kyoko, why are you stopping? Where's my time u prime? First of all, please write that down.
The what, sorry?
The third step of chain rule is times u prime. Write that down. Okay, now, is this the end or should you do something else? Kyoko, is this the end or should you write something else?
Sure, something else.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
No.
You should return the u back. Remember, we were pretending with u, and then you should return the u back. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
They don't want an answer in u. They never ask for it. That's us pretending. So I'm returning the u. Make sense? What's the differentiation of u? You need to write it down here. Okay? Can? Right. So please do that. Now, Ainesh, I'm going to stop you here. I'm going to stop you. This is u du dxing, right? This is u du dxing, right? So I'm not sure what you're doing here. So let me just ask you very, very quickly. Yeah? What's the differentiation of 1? Ainesh? The differentiation of a number is?
0.
Right. So 0 here, just to emphasize the point, right? Just to emphasize the point. I don't know what's going on here, but a number differentiated is 0.
But what if it's 1, right? It could be x to the power of 0. And then if you differentiate, it becomes x to the power of -1.
Yeah, don't forget the 0. Don't forget the 0. The 0.
Oh.
the 0. That's why it becomes 0. It is still following the rule. I'm not quoting any other rule. The 0 is there, so 0 lo. Okay? The differentiation of 1 is 0. Now, of course, you're right in thinking about x to the power of 0. That one I don't mind, but you forget 0 lah. So this is supposed to be 0. And then this guy. I'm going to ask you to think about a similar situation. So minus 3x, right? It's kind of similar to minus 1/4 x, I believe. What is the differentiation of minus 3x?
Minus 3.
Correct. Then how come your differentiation of minus 1/4 x seems very unnecessarily complicated?
I see. Okay.
Right. Of course, I know that it is confusing. Of course, I know. Right? Because differentiation doesn't make a lot of sense yet. It does not. Right. So I understand. Now, you, Kyoko, the inside here should be the differentiation of this. This is u. You should be writing u prime here. That's chain rule. How come like that? Sooner or later, you will find out the reason why. Right now, we just memorize. So, do you know what's u prime? Do you know what's the differentiation of that? Can you do it? Yes or no, Kyoko? So Ainesh, I'm still looking at the final. I'm still waiting for the final answer. Yeah? So Kyoko, how is it?
Not sure.
Right. So let's go through this one more time. U prime, right? What is the differentiation of 1?
0.
All right, you're correct. What is the differentiation of, I'll look at this for a while. I think this is easier to see. Minus 1/4 x. Do you know or you don't? Yes, Ainesh?
What do I multiply? I multiply dy by dx with du by dx.
Yeah, correct. So times u prime. That's the finishing of chain rule.
I see.
Right? Why like that? Still memorization, but please do that. Kyoko, what is the differentiation of minus 1/4 x? Do you know or not?
Minus 1/4.
Correct. And therefore, this is what you should be writing here, because that's how you finish chain rule. Do you understand? Okay. Erase everything I wrote and then you write it yourself. Okay. Okay. So I see that you have this. Okay. This is your dy dx, right?
Yeah.
So we go back and revise every time using Desmos. I'm asking you to prove to yourself that your differentiation is correct. Okay, do you still remember how to do it? I show you many times.
Do you have a screenshot somewhere?
Go and log into your Desmos and go to your save thing. That's the reason why you save.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Go and retrieve and learn from that. Kyoko, let me repeat this. You are not to write this down. This is you, right? This is you. This is also you. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine, right? You're not supposed to write u. This is not u power 1. It's a mistake. It's a u prime. You're supposed to write differentiation of u here, not u. Understand? Why like that? Well, don't know. That's how the rule works. However, you're gonna prove later whether it's right or wrong. So there's some indication later whether the rule works or not. I'm claiming that what you're doing right now is wrong, right? If you write 1/4, you're still a bit mistaken. It's minus 1/4, correct? Okay, right. So because at least you know that's the differentiation of the u, then you simplify, and then you go to Desmos, and then you show yourself whether you're correct. Ainesh, you can log in. You can look at your past Desmos.
Yeah.
Do you remember how we did it?
I mean, I'm just substituting the values.
Well, do it and then screenshot to me, right? Because currently you cannot share.
Yeah.
Probably want to screenshot to page 10.
Okay, plus P. What do I do with the P?
Oh, you don't know what's P, correct, right? We are very unclear. At this point, we will just write plus P and then they will give you a slider, correct? Do so.
Yeah.
Right? And then the
Okay.
P is anything you want right now because we claim that it does not matter. That's our claim, It's very weird. Just set the P randomly to whatever you want and then let's prove it. Right? If you are right, it will be right. Okay. Okay, Yoko. Yeah. So I feel that you're missing the opportunity of simplifying, right? I dislike it because I think you should simplify this. Do you see the opportunity, Yoko? Do you see it? Expanding is not always the best thing to do. Yeah. So please simplify, look at the opportunity, and then write down the final answer. Okay, wonderful. Log into your Desmos. Remember what we did to prove, and then prove it for this.
Okay, no, I don't think I remember.
Right. So Ines, screenshot me the old Desmos, put it in page 10. We'll discuss it.
Oh, the old Desmos, I changed it.
Then you save a few. I mean, I don't think you should be changing it, I think that's a bad thing. I think you should start a new one. That means you
Wait,
have nothing else to
I
save.
haven't pressed the button. I haven't pressed the button to save, so if I just leave, will everything stay?
Let's try. What you did is bad though. You're rewriting your note, which is very bad. Don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, see whether you can recover it. Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Good. Now screenshot it and then I'll explain it again. Page 10. Right, yeah. So although you didn't screenshot me the graph, then I'll rely on you to, use the graph, right? So if I'm not mistaken, this is the original graph, and this is what the dy dx is claimed to be, correct? We need to test this guy. I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm actually asking you, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, then how do we test? Well, we need the line. So this is our line, tangent line, correct? This is our tangent line. My question is, how did we get this? How did we get that? And finally, how did we get? For testing, we need these three things, right? How did we get this two?
We randomly took it.
Correct. No, you're absolutely correct. It was a random guess. I was saying to you that it's better than 1 and 0, at least 2, right? That was correct. It was random. How did we get the two other numbers? Ines?
I'm trying to find out. I've no idea.
Make everything else invisible except the first guy and the third guy.
Oh, okay, so
Does it make sense? Because if you forget, that means it doesn't make a lot of sense. I was not hoping that you will memorize Desmos. First of all, Desmos is not usable in exam. It's not even usable in the class.
I mean, it is.
It makes sense.
Because I have my calculator, the graphic.
Right. Fine. You can use the graphing calculator, but then you'll be very slow. Let me ask you the important question. Does this make sense or not?
No, it does.
Sorry, yes or no? If no, I'll explain.
No.
2, comma, minus 0.75, correct?
Yeah.
That is the point of interest, no? The point of interest is not just x equals to 2 because a coordinate needs a y. So the point of interest is 2, comma, minus 7,568. How do you get it? You get it by simply substituting the 2 back to y. Then you get the y coordinate, and then you at least have the point of interest. Am I making any sense?
Yes.
Right. So you have that, no? Then the last thing to ask is, what the heck is m equals to minus 2.4? What is that supposed to be like? Kyoko, I'm asking you the same question, yeah? Do you remember what happened in your Desmos and how to prove whether your answer is correct?
Mm.
Then, do you think your answer is correct?
I haven't proved it.
All right, then please graph it. Please graph it. Back to you, Ainesh. What's minus 2.4? How did that happen? Ainesh?
Okay, so that was my guess.
Correct. By sliding it around visually, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Now, needless to say, you cannot do this in your graphing calculator.
Probably.
Desmos is already beating your graphing calculator, and that is by right is correct. Calculator has always been less capable than computer. That's the point, I guess. That's the whole point of this expensive graphing calculator. Right? So, oh wow. So Desmos is making my life easier. However, please note that minus 2.4 doesn't tell you anything about your answer is right or wrong. What is our purpose? Our purpose is to test whether our differentiation is correct or not. That was our purpose, right? Minus 2.4 doesn't tell us anything about that right now. Are we clear with this?
Yeah.
Then make everything invisible except 2 and 3. What do you see?
2.6.
Minus, you mean, not 2.6. Minus 2.6.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Does anything trigger?
It means that my guess is close.
Close to what the dy dx is supposed to do. What is the dy dx supposed to do? What is its expected job? Why do we bother differentiating?
I'm so confused. I don't know.
We expect dy dx to give us the gradient of the tangent line. That's his job, and he will do it every time reliably. Okay, so did you prove that in your old Desmos, the differentiation seems to be correct? Seems. That's all you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Then can you use the same method to test your differentiation result here? Please make a new page. Can? Kyoko, is everything okay?
Mm.
Right? Have you proven it? It shouldn't take too long. Yeah. At this point, I'm expecting your Desmos to be right. Oh, you at least show it to me. Sorry. Now I realize. So what do you think? Is your differentiation correct?
Mm.
Right. Try changing the p. See whether it matters or not. Try changing the p. Right?
Oh, it does.
It does matter. Everything.
Yeah. It's like.
Oh, it matters because the point must move with the p. The point must move the p. Once you move the point with the p, then the gradient will match again. Meaning the gradient will say 0.25, no matter what. Okay, try changing the p to, let's say you change the p to, I don't know, change it to p to 5. Let's change the p to 5, right? And then your minus 0.875 will change. Try to find the new one. Right, so it should be 4. Then you change it to that, right? 4.875. But you don't have to change the gradient. See, the gradient stays the same. Right? So the p doesn't matter in that way. It matters in the point. It doesn't matter in the gradient. If that makes sense to you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this should give you confidence that you start correctly. Look, your dy dx is correct. Okay. Now read the question. Read the English of the question for me, please. For us. Yeah. Please.
The entire question.
Hence,
hence find the equation of the line that is parallel to the tangent of the curve at x equal 1 and passes through the origin.
do you understand that sentence?
Yeah.
Can you find it and then confirm it using Desmos?
So I use Desmos first.
You can use Desmos first. You can. We're still learning, ma. Please do so.
Yeah.
Ainesh, how is it?
I'm trying to do.
This is a bit too long. Screenshot and do we show it? Right.
Okay.
The gradient change, Kyoko. The gradient change. Check the gradient again. Are you okay? Wait, you're supposed to look. You want to check the gradient. You check the gradient using the dy dx, right? At x equals to 1. Make everything invisible except for the dy dx and x equals to 1. Make everything invisible. Right. This is what you need. Okay. So the gradient should be Ainesh, where's the screenshot?
Let me just screenshot what I've done so far.
Where is it?
Oh,
Where did you
okay,
put it?
God.
Sorry. I mean, why screenshot, right? You can take a picture. Sorry. Or what it means, just put a picture, right? Put a picture. So Kyoko, using Desmos, you can actually predict the line, correct? The answer is there. That's your 3 marks, correct? If you can present properly.
How to present?
Surprisingly, the exact way you do it in Desmos. Surprisingly. But just without Desmos. Right? So think carefully. What did you first do in Desmos? Think carefully. You look at Desmos and then you have to do it. You have to present it to your teacher without Desmos. What do you do? Right? What do you do? You try that. This will be your first time.
So I can just add in the line.
Well, you need to find a line. That's what you're saying, like, correct? You need to. So then you start by writing something like, for example, you know the x is equals to 1. That's what sorry, for the line you need 3 things, like the 1, the 3.875, and the gradient. Correct? You just need 3 things. So how do you get the 1? Or the question tells us. So you only need to find 3.875 and 0.75. How do you do it?
Okay.
Then you write that down, or I have to do this without ever mentioning Desmos, right? So Ainesh, I'm waiting for the photo. Is it okay?
Oh, I'm done. Pretty much I assume 0.7 and the answer was 0.5.
So the point that you chose is
0.
Your
Oh,
cutoff?
sorry. I chose x equals 2.
X equals 2. So then the
I
coordinate
chose
is...
x equals 2. I put in the screenshot on page 10.
Okay, let me see. Let me see. I'm still waiting for it. Right? I'm not getting anything. So we cannot
I
delay
can see
too
it on
much.
my
Huh?
screen.
Yeah,
I
there
can see
must
it
be
on my
some
screen.
sort of like, yeah, there must be some of like. So are you sure that visually you're correct? Oh, okay, now I'm seeing something. Wait, yeah, I'm not seeing the curve and the tangent line. Yeah, so you make the curve invisible, so I cannot see it. This is not a good screenshot,
Oh,
right? So please do so. Please, re-screenshot.
there you go.
It looks kind of tangent, right? The guess is about there, right? That's not bad, right? Now, the question is, are you convinced that your differentiation is correct? Because, Desmos can only give a rough thing. You okay? You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the first test, whether Desmos is actually useful for your notes. If Desmos is not useful, then it's just a limb crutch. You shouldn't be relying on it. Now, look at the question on page 9. Read for me the sentence hence. Hence,
Hence, find the equation of the line that is parallel tangent of the curve at x passes through the
your voice is cut off, but I get that you're reading it. Please speak to me again.
hence
No, no. Okay, now it's good. Now it's good. Do you understand the sentence?
No. I mean,
One more time, huh? One more time. Your voice is very bad, by the way. Your voice is now very bad. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Ainesh, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Still bad. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna leave and read it.
Please try. So, Kyoko, did you manage to write for your teacher 3.875?
The thing is, the question say like, it has to pass through the origin.
So if it passes, wait. So what does this mean, right? Passing through the origin. So the line needs to pass through the origin, correct? So so he's not asking you to find this line. He's asking you to find a different line, a line that is parallel to this line in Desmos and passing through the origin. To be clear, you can draw that line. You can draw that line. It's very easy to draw that line because they give you passing through origin and they actually tell you the tangent, right? Isn't it easy to find the tangent? Isn't it easy to find the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1?
Yeah.
So go and find it. How? In Desmos, do you have the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1?
Yeah.
What is it? 0.75, right? So why don't you write down in the paper or Jamboard, how do you get 0.75? Ainesh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Is my voice better?
Slightly better. This is a test. Could you please read the long sentence again for me?
Yeah.
Hence, Ainesh?
Okay, hence, find the equation of the line that is parallel to the curve at x equals 1 and passes through the origin.
Okay, it sounds better, almost like yesterday, right? So you're saying that you don't understand the sentence, correct? Yeah. Okay. So he wants you to find a line. That much is clear, right? Equation of the line. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to skip the word parallel for a while. I'm going to skip it for a while. Okay. Look at, by the way, continue looking at Jamboard page 9. Yeah. So I'm going to pretend that the parallel doesn't exist there. How about the phrase tangent of the curve at x equals to 1? Do you think you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me, Ainesh, you can find through Desmos, yeah? What is the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1? Use your Desmos. Kyoko, I see that you have the tangent, right? You have the tangent. You have the tangent of the line. That's good, right? You have the gradient. Is there anything else you need for the line?
The y coordinate.
More properly, the point that it passes.
Oh,
What is the point that it passes?
0, 0.
Correct. So you can draw it in Desmos if you're curious. You can do it immediately if you want to. So Ainesh, what is the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1?
Is the y minus 2.7 equals to mx minus 2?
No, only the tangent. Only the m. Only the tangent, not the line.
0.5.
Only the tangent. What is it?
0.5.
Okay, it's very weird that you keep cutting off. Tell me again. The tangent is?
0.5.
No. The tangent of the curve at x equals to 1 is not 0.5. Just check your Desmos. It is not 0.5. What are you talking about? So Kyoko, for curiosity's sake, could you put that in the Desmos?
Okay.
So Ainesh, what is the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1?
X equals to 2?
Oh, goodness me. Okay. I'll finish with Kyoko first and I'll go back to you. Yeah? Right. So Kyoko, do you think you understand the question and do you think your answer is correct?
Yeah.
You understand the question? Let me hear it. According to Desmos, you did give what they want. Correct or not? Good, yeah? Good. Now, you read the next of the question and you try figuring out for a while because you actually have the skill to do the next part. It's just that it looks new. Okay? So Ainesh, back to you. Yeah? The tangent of the curve is whose job?
My job to find out.
No, dy dx. Of course, it's your job, but you must have other people to help you on this other thing. That's the job of dy dx.
Yeah.
The tangent of the curve is always predicted by dy dx. Do you find this as a memorization, correct?
Yeah.
Every time, however, in Desmos, the dy dx did predict the tangent one. So it's memorization plus some proof lah. I'll give it that lah. You cannot just memorize it. Cannot, Ainesh. Then you will forever not understand it. There is some proof that I'm trying to give you through Desmos. The dy dx is being predicted, is predicting the tangent of the curve at any point you want.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, then ask him to do his job. Dy dx, give me the tangent of the curve at x equals to 1. Ask him to do his job. How would you ask him
What do you
to?
mean by tangent of the curve? As in the point, like the coordinates of the
Goodness me. What is the meaning of the word tangent?
of
I
rushing
understand
through.
correct. Let me clarify the meaning of the word. I think maybe that's the problem. The problem may be English. Tangent is not the line. Tangent is the gradient. Sorry. Let me put it in a very clear sense. dy dx predict the gradient of the curve. Gradient of the tangent of the curve. Does that make some sense? Or am I spouting nonsense? You tell me if I'm spouting nonsense. I have to explain.
Yeah, because I just have never heard of the word tangent before, like the last lesson.
Totally fine. Okay, I have to again explain. Right? So tangent means a certain line that glances, touches, not intersecting. Correct? Visually, you can see it. It's easier to see it than to simply explain. Oh, this guy is tangent, no? So if the line is not tangent to the curve, it's not glancing the curve, then the line may be, intersecting, so cutting through. So we don't want the cutting through, we just want the glancing one. Okay. Now, the tangent line, or rather any line, will have a gradient. Am I correct? Does this make some sense? Any line will have a gradient. Ainesh, can you hear me? 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 Kyoko? Yes, Kyoko?
Sorry, I forgot what normal means.
Right. So normal is 90 degree to tangent. Does that make sense?
Oh,
So basically, you just have to refer to the tangent and do 90 degree. You know what to do, right? You learned that in CG.
Yeah. Yes.
And of course, make sure you confirm in Desmos, right?
Hello, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Did we get cut off?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me repeat again. We're still trying to make
I'm so
sense
sorry.
of the words. We're still trying to make sense of the English. I get it that math English doesn't sound like normal English. I totally get that, right? So I'm trying to explain that. So when they say tangent, they mean the glancing line. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Glancing line or any other line will always have a gradient. So far, so good? Now, you check whether I'm correct or not. If the gradient of the line is wrong, the line will not glance. There is only one gradient which the line glance. If I get it wrong, it will either cut or it will just not touch. Make sense?
The M, pretty much.
The M, not the M. So the M must be correct for the line to glance. Just get it a bit wrong, it will not glance. That makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Now, whose job is it to predict the gradient of that specific line? Of course, it's your job. Of course, it's your job, but you have somebody to help you. Who can help you? I claim that dy dx can always help. I claim. That's what we have.
I mean, yeah, if I switch on the dy dx line, then I can find out what it is.
Yes, you turn to him. You turn to him and ask him to do his job. Now, he tell you he want the tangent, right? I want tangent of the curve at x equals to 1. What can dy dx give you? Dy dx cannot give you the tangent, but dy dx can give you the proper gradient. That's something, right? That's something to use. Correct or not? Dy dx cannot give you the full line. Dy dx can give you the gradient only. Will you accept? Do you accept?
Yes.
Do you accept? If you accept, then tell me what is the gradient of that specific glancing line? It's not 0.5.
0.7.
No,
Wait,
at x equals to
no.
1 is not 0.7. Get the accurate one, not our own slider. Our own slider can be a little bit off, we already know that. Get the very correct one from dy dx.
Okay.
Kyoko, when it is confusing, you must make certain thing invisible. It may help you. Depends on what you need. Right? Right. So Ainesh,
It's
again.
0.5.
Oh, goodness me. Have you set your x to be equals to 1? Ainesh, you did it, right? You did it, right?
Or 0.75.
Yes. Now, how did you get mixed up between 0.5 and 0.75? Because I cannot see what you're doing. What happened just now?
Because I thought I changed the x, but I didn't.
Goodness. Okay, so the gradient is 0.75, right? That's what Kyoko get also. So at this point, you can say, oh yeah, the gradient of that specific line is correct. Look. And yeah, so far so good, yeah? Now, you are halfway through the question now, right? So what does he want? So the thing first, look at the tangent of the curve, you don't have the tangent, but you have the gradient. So far so good, right? Okay. What does it mean to be parallel? Or what does that mean to you?
Same gradient.
Right, so do you understand that it is the same gradient, but it's actually a different line? Parallel?
Yeah, what's the origin?
The origin is very simple. Origin is, let me write down for you, it's just 0, 0. Ta-da. It's original. Yeah.
Oh, then this is easier.
Yeah. It is easy. So why don't you do this in Desmos first? You screenshot to me, and then we'll present it to our teacher without the Desmos.
I don't
That's a
want to
challenge.
do it in Desmos. I can just do this on the Jamboard.
Oh, please do. But that's what we're aiming for. Kyoko did that, but we have to confirm using Desmos also, right? Because there is no answer key. So do what you want. Desmos first, then do on Jamboard, or do Jamboard and then Desmos. Either way, do both. I take it that you do it at page, I don't know, page. Where do you want to do it?
Yeah, sorry, no, I already have the equation. Right? So
then show me the equation and present it properly. That is the challenge. Yoko, I agree that the gradient is -4/3, right? And then, yeah. And then the y must be -1.5. Yoko, you didn't do that, right? Right. So let's be clear, Kyoko. Kyoko, let me clear. Okay, the second question is harder. Okay, the second question is harder. Okay, go back to Desmos. Go back to Desmos. Oh, by the way, Ainesh, you're correct, by the way. Ainesh, you're correct.
Yeah.
Would you please put it in Desmos and see whether it makes sense, right? It has to make sense
A new
visually to you.
Desmos?
No. The same Desmos. The same Desmos as you did just now.
Okay.
You put it there, you have a new line, and see whether that actually makes sense to the question. Right? So now, Kyoko, I want you to make the differentiation disappear. The tangent line also disappear because you don't need that. Right? Yeah, that one. Make it disappear. Right? Okay. Now, please acknowledge that the p is not equals to minus. It's not equals to 5. That's what we just randomly assign. So the p can change. As you change the p, notice that the curve change. Please try that one more time. Okay, so you notice that. So the question is asking you, where is the p, right? Given that the normal to the curve at x equals to 1 passes through the point, right? Given that. Okay, so this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Yeah. So first of all, turn the curve back. Right, turn the curve back, and then I want you to do oh, this is going to be very difficult. Okay, turn the tangent line. Turn the tangent line on. The number 4. Okay. So the tangent line does look 90 degrees to the normal that you just draw, right? It does look like that, right? The problem is the normal should be crossing the line. How do I say this? Okay, in Kyoko, look at this. This is the tangent and this is the 1 comma, right? 1 comma something, correct? The normal should be here also. That's what it means for the normal to the curve. Tangent to the curve at this point, normal to the curve at this point. Do you see, Jamboard? Right? The issue is that your normal is not doing that because your P is wrong. Do you understand? That's the issue. Look, that's the issue. So we must change the P in a way, not in decimals. We must change in the P in a way that later on your normal and tangent will do this, if you understand. That's the goal. That's the goal. Yes?
No, because it reminds me of the perpendicular bisector, but it's like, yeah.
But this one is not perpendicular bisector. This one is just a norm. It is true because perpendicular, you need to find the normal gradient. So I guess that's a similar there. That's why you can just do -4/3. That one is correct. But I think the rest of the question is a little bit more complicated. Yeah. So I'm going to help you later. Let me check Ainesh for a sec. So Ainesh, you have your Desmos, right? Do you have a new Desmos for me? This is so annoying that you cannot screenshot. Okay, Ainesh, I'm going to ask you to screen share. Okay, let's settle this. Right? Screen share, please. No, in the meantime, Kyoko, please do the proving question. So don't wait. Okay, do the proof. Right? Okay, that's better, right? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm seeing things. Right, good. Right. So, Ainesh, you put in the blue line, right? You put in the blue line, and then the blue line. So first of all, change the m into 0.75 first. Good. Enter. So yeah, there's a slight adjustment, right? So the green is there. So make the green line invisible, please. Right. Make the green line invisible. Make the original curve appear. Okay, and then find the intersection between x equals to 1 and red. So purple and red, the intersection of purple and red, right? So remember this 1, 2.075 and adjust your gradient line. It should be x minus 1, right? Should be x minus 1. No, the gradient line. Yeah, that one. Yeah, x minus 1. And then the y should be y minus that weird number. That thing, no? Okay, make the tangent line appear. Okay, good. Now zoom in. More. Zoom in more, scroll it. Okay, good. Now, this is appropriate. Look at the tangent line at the point of interest. The tangent line is really glancing, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, compare the blue line and the black line. Compare the blue line and the black line. What do you notice visually?
It's parallel.
Okay, that's one. Is there another thing that you notice about the blue line? Because they are different lines, no?
It passes through the origin.
All right, then my question is this answering the question or not? Is the blue line what the question? So you totally understand the question. That's what you're saying. The question and the answer makes total sense.
Yes.
Okay, you're right, That's 3 marks. So
far,
so good.
All of this.
Hey, it's new I can do this in less than 1 minute. We're doing this in like 1 hour. But because we're trying to get the understanding, because everything is abstract right now. And because
Yeah.
because you're far away, but we're still getting there. So far so good.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there, I expect that you understand this next time. Part of the reason is because I have to repeat to you and Kyoko. This is too much repetition already. Are you sure you understand why we use Desmos? If not, can you do it without Desmos? I guess that's the question. Do you think you can understand this question without Desmos? Is it better like that for you?
I mean, the Desmos is used for proving, right?
Not proving to me, right? Proving to you. So is it useful to you? I don't need the proof.
I mean, it's to prove the answer is correct.
So is it useful to you or not? I mean, I don't need Desmos. Because I know what I'm doing. But I'm using Desmos so that you get an understanding of, is it useful or not? Or is it better to just not use Desmos for you?
It's all right.
Are you sure? What I don't understand what all right means.
Like, yes.
Is it better if you don't
Hello?
use Desmos? Is it better if you don't use Desmos?
Nah.
You sure? Then next time, if I ask you to prove and everything, do you think you can use the Desmos better? In the sense that there's some value that Desmos is providing to you, so you can do it lah.
Okay.
Right? Can? Okay. They'll save some
Yeah.
time. They'll save some time. Yeah. So now at this stage, I have to show you something. So people, I'm going to ask you to complete the second question by observing me, right? Go to page 11, please. Everybody, please confirm that you are page 11. Right. Okay, good. Now, we don't know the P, right? Ines, you set the P as 3.2. Kyoko, you set the P as 5. Those are random things to help us. The P is not 3.2 or 5. But so far, for part 1, you're correct. Because for part 1, the P does not matter. Because in differentiation, the P disappears, right? Now, at part 2, the P starts to matter. Well, how do we know? We don't know much, but they ask us to find P, so it must be a number that now matters, right? That's the situation of part 2. Any questions so far?
No.
No.
Now, when you change the P, Kyoko and Ines, notice that the curve totally shifts. Okay, Ines, if you have not done that, please confirm when you change the P by sliding, the curve does shift. No, like really add slider. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that. Like really add slider. Back, 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 back. Erase your 0. No, erase your 0. No, erase your 0. Erase. Go to the P equals to 10. Go to the P equals to 10. No, click it. Yeah, add slider. Thank you. Now, slide the P. Slide the P. Slide it around slowly, gently, like a gentleman, right? Okay, so the curve slides when you change the P. So the P matters somewhat. So far, so good, Ines?
Yeah.
And now next time, I would like you to add slider, probably better for our understanding. Now go back to the Jamboard. Now, the normal to the curve, let's be very clear. This is 1 comma, I don't know. Kyoko and Ines, why do I say that this point is 1 comma, I don't know? Why?
Because the tangent point is at x equal 1.
I know, but why? I don't know for the y coordinate.
Because the graph shifts, so the y-axis also shifts.
Right. In that sense, I don't know P because I don't know P. That's the y. That's the question mark. Ines, do you understand? Currently, we actually don't know this point because it shifts one with the P.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, therefore, just to be clear, if the point shift, the tangent also shift. That's correct. It should shift following the curve. Correct? Correct? Nobody
Yeah.
says right. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to modify your Desmos so that the tangent shift with the curve. Currently, your tangent does not shift with the curve. So this is fancier. This is fancy things that you can do with Desmos that you cannot do with your GC. So let me show you something first. The y is -2. Let me see the y one more time. Let me see the y. What's the y? The y is -2. 1 minus 1/4 x squared plus p. Now, I'm going to put this as 1, correct? Okay, can I do that? Jamboard, Kyoko? Jamboard, Kyoko. Jamboard first. I'm going to put this as, oh, Kyoko, your Jamboard is very slow, isn't it? Wow. Wow, this is bad. Why is your why is iPad Jamboard like this? I noticed that this is a little bit of a problem.
Okay, it's back, it's back.
Oh no, yeah, the same for my tablet as well.
Your tablet is refreshing much better than Kyoko, right? And this cannot be due to internet, is what I'm trying to say. No, definitely, because I can see it from the screen share, right? So I'm putting 1 here. Any objection? I'm putting 1 here.
Oh wait, this isn't my tablet. This is my laptop.
Oh, it is your laptop. So the tablet is having problem. The laptop is not.
Yeah, the tab is as slow as hers.
Oh, goodness. Right. So let's rely on laptop. So this thing, I put in 1. Any complaint, people? Any complaint? Okay, so I'm going to do this like -2, 1 minus 1/4 square plus p. Why? Because p is unknown. So currently this is -2, 3 over 4 power 2, which is equal to -2, 9 over 16 plus p, right? Slash, this is 8. So currently we have -9 over 8 plus p. This is our, I don't know my y because the is I don't know. Do you follow first, guys? Do you understand what I just did? This is my y coordinate of the point line. Kyoko, okay?
Yeah.
Ainesh, okay or not? Ainesh, are you cut off?
No, I don't understand.
Okay, then let me show you visually. Go to Desmos, people. Go to Desmos. Right, now on your tangent line, right? On your tangent line, you have y minus something, right? In your case, Ainesh, 1 minus 2.075, right? That 2.075 should have shift following the curve. Am I correct, Ainesh?
Yes.
Change that 2.075, you Kyoko also with this. So you should write down instead y minus bracket minus 9.8 plus p. You literally should write this instead. Right? Change the thing there. Right? Erase that. Yeah, good. Bracket first, Ainesh. Bracket first. Bracket y minus 9 over 8. Minus 9 over 8. Yep. No, Kyoko, in the bracket, there is no minus, right? Ainesh, you're forgetting the minus 9.8. It should be a minus 9.8. 9 over 8, minus 9 over 8. Good. Now, see for yourself whether the tangent line follows you or not. Whether the tangent line follows when you shift the p around. Shift the p around, Ainesh. Shift the p. Okay, slowly, like a gentleman, Does the tangent line now follow the curve?
Yeah.
Does it? Previously, it did not, correct?
Yeah.
Now it does not. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand, Kyoko? Now the tangent line is following. Because then now my tangent line follows whatever the p is. Right? If the p change, the point change, the tangent line follow. This is the fancy thing you can do in Desmos. Again, let me confirm. Does it make some sense, Kyoko? Does it make some sense, Ainesh? You okay? right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking you, Ainesh, to make the blue line disappear. The blue line, not the purple line, the blue line. Okay, now I'm gonna ask Ainesh to do something, Kyoko, yeah, and then we can then use the Desmos together. So Ainesh, he said that the normal to the curve passes through this point, right? -1, 1.5, right? Okay, so look at the Jamboard. I'm asking you to draw a different line here.
So I pretty much adjust the P until
the normal fits. Correct. The normal fits, right? But you must draw the normal line first. No? The normal line is, this one is -4/3. Now, this is the new line that you have to include. Now, do you
Why?
understand? Okay. First of all, the line passes through -1, 1.5 lah. So you see the -1 and 1.5. So far, so good? That makes sense lah. Right? But the gradient of the line is not 3/4. The gradient of the line is -4/3 because that's what you learn in CG. The normal looks like this. The normal is 90 degrees to the tangent. That's what normal line means. Okay. Do you understand so far? Okay, there you go. Okay. So now Kyoko and Ainesh, you're now ready to shift the P until the normal actually touches the tangent at the same point. So one more time, Kyoko and Ainesh, the tangent and normal should be crossing at the same point. You need to adjust the P slowly until that happens, you see. Around there, yes, around there. See, Ainesh, no, you pass through already. You pass through it already. The normal and the tangent should be around there. Yeah. See, something like that. Something like that, Ainesh. That is where the P is correct. Something like
zero, P is 0.
Maybe, we don't know. I mean, visual method doesn't mean that 0 is correct, but it's around there, look. It's around there, like it's around 0. Right? Kyoko is putting at 0.2. I mean, you see why visual method is not the most perfect method, but it's a very good method to give some idea. Like. So according to Desmos, P equals to 0. Let me repeat this, Ainesh. You cannot do this using your GC, so it doesn't work in exam, right? Right? This is just Desmos giving us an idea. Okay, so far so good. Yes, Kyoko? Okay, maybe the answer is 0. So now I'm going to show you how to do it, presentation-wise, and then you see whether it makes sense or not, right? Okay, so this is my first step. So go back to Jamboard, right? This is my first step. I'm done with my first step. Okay, so now I'm going to, my second step is the gradient of normal. M normal is equals to 3/4. I'm sorry. I should say -1 divided by 3/4 equals to -4/3. So that one is okay, yeah, everybody, yeah? Can, yeah? That's my second step. Okay, now what is my third step? My third step is the y of the normal. The line y of the normal should be y minus 1.5 equals to -4/3 x plus 1, right? That's the y normal. So far, so good. Okay. Now I'm going to do something that will feel weird, right? So, so this is my fourth step. Look at my fourth step. The fourth step is the most important thing. This fourth step is what you do when you shift your Desmos around. I put my x equals to 1 into the line. I put my y into the line. I put this point into the line. This is equivalent to you shifting the curve in Desmos. That's my claim. Do you understand my claim about the fourth step, Ainesh and Kyoko?
Yeah.
All right, Ainesh, I'm not saying that you understand why the claim is correct. Just understand what I'm claiming here.
Okay.
Okay, then you do it algebraically. Let's see whether the answer is around p equals to 0 or not. Let's just try that. So now I'm asking you to just do step 4 by yourself and see whether the answer is around there. So, Kyoko and Ainesh, please do step 4 now.
Yeah.
Just do a new page. Just do a new page, right? Just do a new page, right? It's
I'm kind
better,
of
huh?
confused. What are we supposed to do?
Right. So look at 4th step, yeah, Ainesh. Look at 4th step. I'm claiming that I will put this in here and I'll put this in here. Right? That's all I'm saying that we should do. So do that lah. Do that and see what happens.
Okay.
You don't know the reason. I mean, that's what we're trying to find out. Yeah, but do it first lah. Quickly, we're running out of time. Okay, you finish putting in Kyoko. So you notice that this is one unknown p and one equation, right? Should be solvable, right? So try to solve it lah.
We don't know why these values, right?
I'm sorry, you don't know what you're saying?
You didn't explain why we are using these values, right?
My current explanation is simple. I'm claiming that I'm doing the same thing as shifting the decimals. That's my only explanation so far. So let's try to do this first, see whether I will be correct, right? Because if I'm asking you to do this and the answer is not near 0, you have a good reason to suspect that my method is wrong. Do you understand or not, Ainesh? My answer shouldn't be very far from 0 if I were to be correct. So, I mean, go ahead and find 0, p, Ainesh. I mean, Kyoko already find p lah. According to Kyoko, the answer is around 0. In fact, very close to 0. Correct or not, Kyoko? Right? So, does it make you feel that, okay, maybe my method is somehow correct? Look? Do you understand, therefore, my method?
Yeah.
If you understand my method and you see that the decimals is showing you something, that means you at least understand this question already lah. That's it, look. Your teacher will try to explain this without decimals. Yeah, I think it is a very abstract thing to do. That's why I keep going back to decimals. So I hope that decimals will help you understand. Now, you, Ainesh, you're not getting the p. Yeah. So again, give me the p, please. Give me the p. First of all, you did a mistake, Ainesh. You did a mistake.
Exactly. That's also
yeah. So again, do again find the p. Kyoko, you have a question?
Wait. Sorry. You can do this in exam, right? It's like you just sub in the.
Oh yes, I can. No, that's a very proper way of doing it in exam.
Oh, okay.
I will argue that that's the only way lah. And do you notice that this is comparable to decimals? No? In decimals, we also write that the y should be minus 9/8 plus p, and then it can do that. So that's what it means to that step. Okay. So Ainesh, your screen sharing is over. Time is almost up. Right? So Ainesh, I take it that you don't really get first why we're doing all this.
Yeah.
However, the answer seems to show that at least my method is correct. Is it correct? I mean, when you compare with decimals, my answer does seem to be correct.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So there is some merit in trying to understand what I'm doing here. Time is up. I'll see you tomorrow. Right. So again, when both of you are not together, then we'll do separate things. But when you're together, then that's our next time. We'll explain why my method is correct. Look. For your information, this is not considered an intermediate question. This is considered almost a difficult question. it's worth understanding. It's worth the time that we're spending. Your teacher will not jump to this question as the first part, right? In fact, you'll be facing a lot of, I would say, easier questions before you go to this, right? I'm not trying to torture you using a difficult question. I'm trying to show the value of Desmos, right? I'm trying to show you. Instead of saying, the answer key says I'm correct, instead of saying that. As a closing thing, what do you think, Ainesh and Kyoko? Do you prefer that I show you the answer key and show you that, oh, see, I'm doing the same thing as the answer key. I must be correct. Is that a better way to do things, Kyoko and Ainesh?
Sorry.
I show you the answer key right now. I claim, see, what I'm doing is according to the answer key. The answer key says the P is this, so I must be correct lah. Do you prefer me to do that? It's a shorter way of doing things.
I'm okay.
Then I'll give you the answer key and then be done with it. Right. Now, Ainesh, what's your preference? Do you just want the answer key and be done with it?
As a closing statement.
I suppose it's a closing question. Do you prefer that? It's definitely shorter. And by the way, you're very soft.
Nah.
You're very soft. Testing. Try to speak
Hello.
again. Much better. All right, you say?
No.
You don't prefer that I show you the answer key and just be done with it.
Actually, no, I prefer that you do. So that, because I mean, you've done everything else.
Right. Then I'll show you the answer key and then well, hopefully you're happy with the answer key. Okay, so let me show you that. Just a minute. Okay, the answer key is a short one. Okay, so it's not a long answer key. So I'll give you the short answer key. There you go. Do I have the long one? Oh, I do have the long one. So look at the short one first. Would you kindly confirm that this is actually equal to whatever number that you're writing? Would you please confirm that first? I'll give you the long one. There you go. So Kyoko and Ainesh, is the answer this? Is it the same thing or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, I mean, I hope you still believe me that I've never consulted the answer key yet. That's just not what I do, right? Okay. If I'm correct, that's because my thinking is correct, not because I memorized the answer key. I never consult the answer key, right? If you want the answer key, I give it to you. Kyoko and Ainesh, read the answer key and tell me next time. Yeah? Tell me next time. Are you happy if I give you the answer key and not Desmos?
No.
Okay. You are not happy with it, Kyoko. Not Desmos. So we are not doing Desmos at all. We just have answer key. You're not happy with it, Kyoko. But why?
No, I mean,
no, Kyoko first. Okay.
Desmos.
So,
Kyoko. Because it's easier to understand than like by looking at people.
Sorry, which one makes you easier to understand? I'm sorry.
The graph, sorry. Because if you like if you don't use the Desmos to prove, it's like harder to see.
Much harder, argue. Yes. Yeah. So you're saying that you prefer both, that's what you're saying.
This just clarifies my any doubts I have,
Right. I understand what you're saying. So next time, if I were you, you will try to do the Desmos first before looking at this to be fair, right? To be fair to you, I mean, that seems to be what you want. Okay, I understand. Yeah. How about you, Ainesh? What are you thinking right now? In such a difficult question, what do you prefer? Desmos first, answer key first, answer key only, Desmos only? What is it?
Desmos.
Which one first?
Desmos.
All right. If in a difficult question, that is what you do, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I'm saying that we at least think similarly. So there might be some synergy going on. We don't have to think similarly. If you think that along the way, the heck with Desmos, then at least you should try that because you're at least being honest. We have time to try things. My point is, I don't want to force Desmos to you. And I also don't want to keep the answer key from you if that's what you want. What I want to you is to think which one is best for yourself. That's what I want you to do. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. You must know for yourself which one is working best for you. Both, this first, that first. I'm not forcing either way. Yeah. Now, with that in mind, you're not ready for homework, right? Okay. You'll get a lot of homeworks from your teacher later on, right? So I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.